They would be jumping on the couch and I would be like, hey, you guys, sit down. And then they would keep jumping and I'd be like, hey, sit down. And then they keep jumping and I would be like, hey, get off the couch. I just told you. Why are you not listening to me? Even as a parent coach, I was falling into this trap that a lot of people fall into, which is the misbelief that a toddler has the ability to listen to you and follow your boundary on their own. If you feel like your toddler doesn't listen to anything you say, then keep watching. This is a mistake that I see happen all the time, and often is the reason why people will say like gentle parenting doesn't work or gentle parenting only works for gentle kids. Let me share with you how to actually set a boundary with a toddler and what's actually going to get them to listen without you losing your mind and in a way that they're actually going to follow the boundary, like moving forward. I am not at all calling out Catherine. I think this is a situation that many parents find themselves in, especially if you have toddlers, even more so if you have multiple little kids like I do. I remember probably about 6 months ago, my two oldest kids, who at the time were 4 and 2, kept jumping on our couch in our living room. That is a boundary in our house. You're not allowed to jump on the couch. We have a trampoline. We've got a couch downstairs they can jump on. Like, that's just a rule for us. Something that I found myself getting caught up in, and this is something I teach in my Toddler Tantrums guide. The third part of my framework is all about limits, consequences, and setting boundaries and actually doing it in a way that makes your life easier in the long run. So here's the thing. Your toddler, especially at first, until you have modeled and developed this skill for them, does not have the impulse control, does not have the ability to stop themselves from continuing the behavior. So if you are across the room and you're telling your toddler like, hey, don't do that thing, they cannot stop themselves. Their brain literally has not developed that skill yet. So what I always teach is give them a boundary or limit, give them like 1 minute to do it on their own, and then you need to be physically getting up and going over very calmly, not in anger, but just calmly being the grounded leader of your home and helping them hold that boundary or limit. And then it needs to look like you either staying very close to them to continue to hold that boundary or limit, or removing them or the situation, right? So I obviously can't remove the couch from my living room, so I either needed to move my toddlers to another room or literally sit on the couch and block them from jumping. The thing is, when you're consistent with this, they actually start to develop that impulse control and that skill to be able to do it on their own. If you want more guidance on how to help your toddlers stop testing all the boundaries and limits like this, go get my Toddler Tantrums guide.